Joko here, and I'm going to be doing a Task 1 review, and it's Halloween, so that's why I'm wearing a costume. Right. It's about hydroelectric power, and so I figured I would go dressed as a dam worker. A dam worker. Okay, so it's a Task 1, and it's probably, well, he's not facing an immediate test. He's got a test later because he didn't get the score he needed in writing. And but the reason I chose this one, a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm slowly working on this, very slowly. See, this is a Google. They give you free web space. It kind of feels like back in the old GeoCities days, where you can, build websites. It's far more primitive than it was 20 years ago, which makes no sense. But I was thinking of doing a Task 1 site, just Task 1 academic, with like a random question picker, and I got all kinds of advice about Task 1. I think it's one of my specialties. It is a specialty. It's another reason I wanted to do it was because I've never seen it before, and we don't do a lot of process diagrams here on Tips and Tricks. If I can set myself up over here in the corner, out of the way. And I love Google Chrome with its automatic subtitles down there. I'm seeing those at the same time you are. Well, I mean, they're real time. And we have a process diagram by Rizwana. Now, Rizwana reported that. So here's our question. Below shows how. Right. Standard wording that you find here at the bottom, particularly. Main features. It doesn't say anything in there about stages. It does in the band descriptors, though. Okay. And, well, look what we got here. Let's analyze it. Okay, so you got a lake. All right. A lake and a dam. And some piping. And here's your turbine, which turns the generator. Nothing mystical about it, except for this part. Reversible turbines. They operate generally. Night, pump water into high-level reservoir. So at night, they pump the water back into the lake. How much electricity does that take? That doesn't make any sense. It's confusing because, maybe they have really efficient pumps. No, because then you could just, if you could pump water to a higher level and have it cost less money in electricity, or less electricity than it generates coming back through, you would have an eternal energy machine. All right, so what can we say about this process, generally? How many main stages are there? Well, I'd say either 2 or 3, depending on what you want to call a stage. Now, it would be better to go with 2 because that will guide our body paragraphs. So, what are the stages? Well, here's the first stage. The river flows continuously into a lake. Okay. And then there's the next stage. Water power station. And the third stage. Nice. And if I were to do I just did, your first paragraph, you just say what you see. There is a diagram which illustrates the generation of hydropower by a dammed river. Oh, and I spelled, yeah, I wrote this pretty late at night. Damn, does hydropower take a hyphen? I don't think it does. Morning song, street vendor. Anyway, here's my overview. Overall, it can be seen that electricity is generated through 3 main stages, differentiated by their hydrodynamics. Whereas the flow of water is generally downward and linear, there is a recovery stage, which adds a cyclical return element. Okay, let's start with this. By the way, it's not his, this is mine. There is a diagram which illustrates the generation of hydrogen. This in general is a good strategy. I'm not too concerned about it with this particular writer, but what you've done here in the first sentence is you have created a complex sentence using a relative clause and you've done it accurately without being blatantly obvious about it. Okay, and then you got your overview. Can be seen. This is also very common. Put a modal, verb, and passive. Everyone does that. Okay, is generated through. I would not have used words like hydrodynamics if this was for a regular student, because that's a bit high-level vocabulary. But this guy got an 8 overall, so I'm not worried. I'm worried anyway. So, Rizwana, back a couple weeks ago, said, Joko Makana Muidola, thanks for your help. Got my score. It's 8 overall, 6.5 in writing. I think I will take the exam again in a few months. All right. Thank you. I read that. Okay, let's give him a full review. Well, he must be doing something wrong. Is it in task 1 where we find the problem? Let's find out. Okay, the given diagram provides an insight regarding the process of hydroelectricity generation in a hydroelectric power plant. Overall hydroelectricity generation. My thoughts. Insight is an uncountable noun. Regarding. I don't know. Regarding is used with ideas. What is this regarding? Instead of... No, don't use regarding. All right. Here we have electricity. Hydroelectric. Good. Hydroelectricity. All right, fine. But it's starting to get a bit repetitive there. But hydropower. Generation. Hydroelectricity generation. Hydroelectricity generation. Yeah, that's repetitive for the first sentence. I'd say there's one main component. Water. Why components? You've learned this. Someone told you that this is the thing to do, right? No, you want to highlight the stages, not the components. It's good to mention them in the overview, but that by itself is an overview. All right, it certainly doesn't mention any stages, and why those 3? Dam, power station, low-level reservoir. There's many other components to it. Yeah. Okay. What about the lake, the upper lake? Low-level reservoir isn't doing anything. It's sitting there. Okay, wait. Yeah. So I would be very concerned about your task achievement here, because if we look, to get a 7, you need a clear overview of main trends, stages. Trends. Which way is the water going? Presents an overview with information appropriately selected. Is this appropriately selected? Fair enough, but is it appropriate? Let's see how you do on the body paragraph. During the daytime, water from the river is collected into high-level reservoir created in a small gate at the bottom of dam. The intake valves, yes, allows the water to fall on the blades of turbine via a canal. This turbine is connected to the generator in the power station. So when water causes the turbine blades to rotate, electricity is produced by the generator. It's kind of wordy there. This electricity is supplied to National Grid Network. Further. All right, so during the daytime, water from the river is collected. River, wait until the sun is up. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay. Water, you want to use any possibility you can to show some different tenses. Okay? Daytime, water, which had collected, use the past perfect there. And then your use of the passive here. Water from the river is collected. By who? Who's collecting it? You see, collect in this usage is highly intransitive. Okay? It just is something that happens. Whereas normally you can collect things, right? The lake collects water. Water is collected? No. In that, yeah, but here it accumulates, right? And so it's intransitive in my mind, and I don't think it's appropriate to use the passive. I would just go Water from the river collects into. Big issue with articles, sir. All throughout, you're forgetting them. Here's the first one. A high-level reservoir. Okay? Created behind the dam. Capital D. Why is it a capital D? Behind the dam. And then we have a comma splice. Okay? Why? That should be a full stop, period. And then a new sentence, which would begin with a small gate at the bottom of the dam allows okay, that's fine, to fall. Fall. I think I've seen that actually used to talk about turbines, so still, but it's definitely not a canal. Not a canal. And this electricity is supplied to the National Grid Network. Well, you don't need to capitalize grid, and a grid is a network. So that's redundant. Into the national grid via a power line. Oh yeah, power line, just one. Further, back connector. Water from the turbine, again, is collected. Who collects it? No one's collecting it. It just collects by itself during the nighttime. You know, we don't say that. Okay, we've got during the daytime. That let slide here. But not only is this repetitive, there's a fixed expression called at night. At night, nighttime. We don't use that. Okay, the turbine act. Turbine is singular, so it should be acts, subject-verb agreement. All right, which transfers water from the back to the canal. I don't see any of that. I just see some arrows. However, during the night hours, gate of this dam is closed. Therefore, the water is not pumped back into the high-level reservoir. Well, what are they pumping it for? What does it make? That makes less sense than pumping it. Pumping it and having it not reach its destination. Okay, the thing you see there, it says intake, right? Intake. You think there's just one? No. You've got intakes and outputs. Undoubtedly. Okay, every time we turn the water pump on, water just comes splashing back down, doesn't do anything. Well, Bob, it says we have to turn on the water pump right here, so we're going to turn it on, okay? All right? All right, Bob. Yeah, I said, read the diagram carefully. It's labeled intake. We clearly see that your written English was fine in the comments that you made there in the thread. And obviously, if you got an overall 8, you have the language skills and vocabulary necessary to do well on the IELTS. However, your overview, you didn't know what to write. Well, hopefully now you've learned. With the process diagram in your overview, you want to include the main stages. Point and make comparisons if you can. Didn't I? I don't want to go all the way back. Yeah, I did by comparing the downward flow to the upward flow. Compare, contrast. All right, now your CNC, your coherence and cohesion. Okay, it's repetitive. During. Okay, here we see this turbine. That's a form of coherence. Cohesion. Get those mixed up. Cohesion using this here and this here, but it's the same thing. So you're not varying. And then here we have coherence with which. Therefore, you could be looking at a 6 there in CNC as well. I'm not giving lexical resources. Talked about some of that. Collected, generator, hydroelectricity, dam. And there are no sentences that are error-free. Everyone's got a little something, even if it's just an incorrect capital letter. Capitalization is considered part of grammar, and that'll ding you. What was your word count on this thing? Anyway, I can't do it. But that's your essay, your report, and thank you for the kind words. I wish I could be kind. I am kind back, I guess. I'm giving you this feedback for free. And happy Halloween.